So the presentation I'm going to give begins with accountability. I gave it out to all the candidates. For everybody else in the audience, I didn't have a chance to collate it, but all what I'm going to leave candidates have is on the back table up there in order if you want to grab it later. You don't necessarily need it for this presentation, but it primarily consists of backup information. So I think it's a good setup here because when things are going really well, you get to talk to Tom. When things start going not so well, you talk to Kevin. And when things come off the rail, you're going to see my smiling face. So my advice is avoid me at all costs. Talk to these guys. Right? So I want to talk about accountability. And I wanted to get a definition of what I thought accountability was, and this is the one I picked. An obligation of the individual or organization to account for its activities, accept responsibility for them, and to disclose the results in a transparent manner. It includes the responsibility for money or other entrusted property. I thought that was pretty good. And I included afterwards is an article from Inc. magazine on a little bit more fleshing out what accountability is. It starts with you. It starts with you individually. It's not a one-time thing. You have to be accountable at all times, especially when you're representing the public. Accountability applies to one and all. So it's not just accountability for yourselves, it's accountability for the people that you are responsible for. In your case, it'll be the 3 charter officers. Accountability cannot be delegated. If you see stuff, you can't say it's somebody else's responsibility to report. It's yours. It's yours. You can't pass the buck on it. Accountability is the difference between success and failure. And I'll go into that a little bit more later in the presentation. Kevin says it's cumulative, and over time it adds up, and very bad things can result from it. It's very true. And we're a great case study of it. I'd love to bring it to business schools, how we're a case study in lack of accountability. City of Riverside. I'd like to change that. And 7, you have to hold people accountable. It's difficult sometimes. Sometimes you have to play the role of the bad guy, and you have to step up and do the right thing. So I wanted to show first, really quickly, and I could have picked any of dozens of individuals. I picked these 3 because they're 3 of the more high-profile individuals, and I picked a couple of cases in Riverside's history, and actually one from the present. I could have picked for each one of these individuals dozens of infractions that were committed by these individuals. And I want to, so the first case study is, it just recently was in the paper, Press Enterprise, you see, investigator, Riverside's internal auditor had a conflict of interest when he audited his life partner. So we had an audit where the life partner audited his life partner about the activities he was doing while he was at Riverside Public Utilities. And of course, the result of the audit was nothing to see here, you didn't do anything wrong. But I think most people can see how that can be a conflict. And what was the result of, what happened as far as accountability once we found out this was true? Did the person lose their job who did the audit? No, they're still working for the city of Riverside. Where's the accountability? The partner who was audited was, first of all, the auditor's name is Vincent Price, and I name names. That's what I do. I don't have any problem doing it. Ask Mike Gardner. The partner is David Wright. David Wright, I've said for years, misappropriated public funds out of an organization called SCAP, Southern California Public Power Authority, and that was what the audit was about. David Wright, once again, I could have spent 2 hours talking about transgressions of this one man alone, went on to be rewarded after he left Riverside. He became the general manager of the largest public utility in the country, LADWP. Well, if you look at the next article, you'll see that it's entitled, Mayor Garcetti pushes out top DWP executive after FBI raids. That's David Wright, that's his legacy. And that will be coming back to Riverside pretty soon. It'll be embarrassing. We'll get links back here. The second example I use is a guy named Greg Brown, which is a former city attorney here. And I think there's one in there, who's it from mine, but there should be an article in yours that talks about how Citizen, this was the UK Mail, Citizen arrested for clapping at city council meeting. Somebody said, I agree or disagree, clap, whatever. They arrested her upon the advisement of the city attorney. I can think of 100 different examples of bad advice that were given up by this individual. and that cost the city a lot of money in the long run. And so what happened to him on his way out? Well, he didn't get fired either. He was able to leave on his own accord. He became county council. He actually got a job upgrade. Makes even more money, more responsibility now. And so the second article I'd like to show you is that, let me see here. This is just from this year as well. Grand jury, Riverside County employees forced out, retaliated against. So the Tigers don't change their strike because they're never held accountable. The last thing I wanted to show you was a couple of different contracts. Everybody remembers the John Russo kind of fiasco of a year ago. But I wanted to show you the signature sheets of two contracts. One has Rusty Bailey's signature block on it, and the other one doesn't. And the third sheet after that is, it kind of shows you, if you look at the details, who erased the signature block in order to execute the contract. That was our current city attorney, Gary Geis. The city council is aware of this, and he's still employed by the city, even though he forged a government document in order to get it executed on behalf of his friend John Russo. It's totally inexcusable behavior. And so, the definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If we don't hold folks accountable, we will continue to have these scandals over and over again. And you know, a lot of them revolve around conflict of interest. I laughingly, half-jokingly say a lot of times, the unofficial motto of the city of Riverside is, there's no conflict of interest that's so large we can't completely ignore it. That needs to change. And it's not just the embarrassment that comes with these scandals that happen and will continue to happen every 3 to 6 months until we see accountability in the city. It also comes with a cost. Over the long run, the cumulative effect, we have $20 million budget deficits coming up. 550, I would say more, probably $600+ million in unfunded pension liabilities. $2 billion in total other debts. Okay? The Charter Review Commission has taken it upon itself, because if the government isn't willing to fix it itself, then the people have to step in to fix it. And they're studying two things currently that I think we'd like you to support. One is a change to the
in stereo.
It's a change to the Code of Conduct and Ethics to include the 3 charter officers under the code. And there's also other smaller changes as well, including establishing the independence of that committee from the city itself, and having real enforcement provisions that have teeth. All 3 of these things were suggested to the council last time. They came before the council to do major revisements to the Code of Ethics. And how many of them were actually passed by our council of the 3 things that the community was asking for? Zero. And those are the 3 things that most government watchdog institutions would tell you are essential to have a properly functioning Code of Ethics and Conduct. Number 2, they're studying the possibility of having an elected inspector general. Currently, our city auditor function reports to the city manager. That's the most ridiculous conflict of interest I could ever think of. We never have that in the private sector. You don't have the person who counts the money reporting to the person who manages the money. And recently it came before the council to change that arrangement. They said, you know what? We're perfectly fine with it. We don't want to manage any more employees. Well, that's fine. If the council doesn't want to do something with it, the people will take it out of their hands. We'll have an elected city auditor do some of those functions. And number 3, something I'll be suggesting soon, is that I do think we need mandatory reporting of illegal activity by employees. Meaning, if you see something, you must say something. In my experience, the employees are the first people to see activities that are going on that are improper. And we need those folks to step up. We need to protect them when they do step up. Those are the three asks we're asking for. It's in your handouts there, and we would appreciate your support.